This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, of course we're going to talk Easter eggs, but we're also going to go a deep dive into the awareness gap and why you should be mastering skipping. 3, 2, 1. Que Dios Sante, Daniel.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bro?
I'm really annoyed at myself just then. I was gonna go on Translate and find something on there that I could say back to you, but in a different language, and I forgot. Never mind. Tom's just abusing me.
I'm not actually. I said que desayunaste, which means what did you have for breakfast?
Oh, what did I have for breakfast? Obviously, Tom. Everyone knows what I had for breakfast, Tom. Don't they? How would you say eggs and chorizo on a bagel, Tom? How would you say that?
Huevos y chorizo.
Eggs on toast, that is probably. Is that eggs on toast?
Huevos is egg. But I don't know.
I do that one.
Tostada. Sí. So huevos y chorizo y tostada. That would be eggs and chorizo and bread or toast. But I don't know what bagel is.
I'd let you off for that, mate. Yeah, but I'd let you off for that. I know what you mean. You can get by with that. You can get by with that. Very good, Tom. Well done. How are you? How's the Spanish coming along?
Yeah, good. I've got a lesson with Mateo after this call. Just cranking them out.
Mate, you must be like 3 a week now. Is it 3 a week?
3 a week, yeah.
Fucking hell, you're like that guy who gets PT and gets stuck straight into PT 3 sessions a week, and they're going to fucking transform their body. It's you, isn't it?
It's almost like I said to myself. Did I say to myself like about a month ago? I was like, you know what I would do if I wanted to like train and change myself? I'd go to PT or train 3 times a week. That'd be my minimum. So that's what I've done. It's just added to the monthly expense. So I am open for clients at the moment. So
yeah. I think loads of clients right now.
I didn't realize. I'm not joking. It's not actually. It's not that expensive. It's only another. Just over 300 quid a month. Like for essentially 3 hours a week. And I know I'm more expensive than that. So. Yeah, which is but
isn't that funny how that's the barometer you use then is like what you charge? I always feel like that's the thing, isn't it? That you use. I always do the same thing with. I do the same thing with the golf. Like I
do the same thing as the golf as well. I'm like,
my golf lessons are like 120 quid a session for like 45 minutes. Yeah. But then I'm like, but the best people would charge that. So that's fine. Like you just go, of course they would.
Yeah,
like,
I'm always like, oh, Ollie, you're charging quite a lot. And I'm like, actually, it's less than I am. So I was like, fine.
It is funny how you
who pays that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I do that.
Interesting.
It's hilarious.
Spanish is going well, mate. It's yesterday's lesson. I think today's lesson will be all about conversations with my suscrita. Suscrita, I think, which is not because she's not yet. She's not my mother-in-law yet, but she's in town. My future mother-in-law is staying for 2-3 weeks. So it's all about like conversations that we'd have. That was why I was like, "What did you have for breakfast?"
You're gonna have to do that, are you? You're gonna have to be that guy.
Tu descante bien. Tu descantaste bien. Dormiste bien? You slept well?
You slept well. No, I didn't sleep well. I never sleep well, Tom.
Sí, dorme muy bien. No, I didn't sleep well last night. I slept for 5 hours. My Garmin told me I was a waste of space. So, yeah.
Well, that's just every day you're a waste of space.
No, mucho. Cocina, coma y mira la tele.
Right. Everyone's getting really annoyed. Because I'm getting really annoyed. So that's how I know. We're going to stop with that. All right.
Apart from who are we shouting out? There's one listener who's signed up with my Spanish tutor.
Andy, I don't know.
Andy, there we go.
I still don't know why Andy listens to the podcast, number one. I mean, because he's not a fitness professional. He's into fitness. He does train because I train him. I think he just likes hearing someone else take the piss out of me. It's probably why he listens. He probably enjoys the fact you just take the piss out of me all the time. And now he wants to learn Spanish, so which is great. So he's learning Spanish as well. Maybe I need to learn Spanish. Maybe that's just the way it needs to go. But yeah, he's an avid listener. He loves it. He can't get enough of it. Is what he told me. This podcast.
goes back and re-listens to the ones that we did
Crazy.
7 years ago. Yeah.
Absolutely crazy to me, but hey, each to their own. Each to their own. If that's what he wants to do, he can do it. Yeah. So yeah, that's my
Anyway,
week.
I know. What have I been up to? Oh, like I went and met a bunch of Chloe's friends that I haven't met before that are apparently invited to the wedding, so I should probably say hello to them.
Yeah.
Um, they were all very nice. I don't know whether you get this. I don't know. I don't know whether it's my personality, but
Yeah, I have one, so it's fine.
there we go. I tend to get on with females on impression, first whatever,
Yeah.
better than males
Why do you think that is, Tom?
because I'm so sensitive.
Yeah, you're
Um,
a pussy. That's why.
I don't know. I
Whereas I'm the
think
other way
there's
around. I got on better with males, you see, because I'm such a man. I'm such an alpha male, mate.
such
They
a
all just
man.
go, "Oh my god, this guy, so alpha."
I think I don't know. It's what are you doing? You're standing up.
I'm
He's all
looking for
over the
like, I'm just looking
place.
for an adapter. I just realized I've lost an adapter that I need for this weekend when I'm traveling. So I just
You
completely
need
lost.
for this second.
No, I just because it would usually be in my eye line and it's not in my eye line, and I've just realised and tweaked now. I was
Okay,
like, why is it not there?
he's
Like,
just running around the screen. I
yeah.
have no idea what he's doing. If everybody watches it on YouTube, they're
Well,
just yeah.
you've been speaking Spanish at me, so I'm just a bit, I'm not really paying attention.
But anyway,
Um,
one of the chaps that I met, and he will be at the wedding. They might listen, to be fair, because they were like, "Oh, you've got a podcast." I don't think they'd listen, but
no,
I felt it
they're
was
just
quite
saying that to be
interesting.
nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One of them had a signet ring,
A signet ring.
and yeah, I couldn't
I
get
couldn't
over
not make a
it.
joke about it. I could not make a joke
No.
about
I was like, it's just very because I think because Chloe's not British, right? So, and I am not upper or I didn't start even middle class, very much from similar kind of roots to you, right? In terms of probably from the working class, good upbringing, but probably from the working to working middle, that kind of thing,
that.
in terms of a class system. And then probably have maybe pushed ourselves higher into that. We're definitely, well, yeah, fucking in Maida Vale and driving Mercedes. I'm probably middle class now, but yeah, and you're in Dubai.
I'm
But
upper class. Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, you're very upper class.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, damn right.
basically,
Yeah, that's
basically a
right.
sheikh now.
Basically
Basically a
posh
sheikh.
now. I'm just posh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be back to Bath as well, so that's
But
even more. Even more posh.
but it's quite interesting when you have those conversations with people who are from wealth within England and maybe have gone to very private schools and whatever. I'm sometimes surrounded by them being clients or whatever, but there's also within that kind of generational wealth status. It's always quite hard. I don't know. It's like I don't know whether I have like a chip on my shoulder a little bit about it. But because
I just think reference points are well off, aren't they? You can't, you
yeah.
go, well, what am I going to talk about? Like, I didn't watch the horse racing. I didn't go to Cheltenham. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Literally, they
What
were
am I gonna
talking
about?
about like a brand that I don't know, or they
Yeah.
were all talking about their trip to Corsica, and I was like, I didn't go to Corsica, so I don't really know. And they're like, oh, let's
Yeah.
go to.
Is that
We're
like
gonna go.
Butlins? Is that like Butlins?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna go on holiday, Tom. Can we count you in? I'm like, well, I've got quite a lot of like on this year that's going to be quite expensive, so probably not, and I need to work. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't just up
Oh,
and go.
and they're like, oh, you work. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you that you
I was just
work. Yeah.
like, I was like, and Chloe was like, we're not gonna go. I was like, you can go, but my order of priorities for stuff to do this year, weddings, number one, that's probably going to be some time off. And I was like,
Yeah.
probably honeymoon, and then I was like, I probably want to hang out with Dan for a week, and I was like,
Yes.
I know. I was
Yes. I
like,
made it.
stags,
I made it
and
above the posh people.
and I
Yes.
was like, Stag's going to be there. I was like, that's 4 weeks out of my year. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I could take much more time off. I've already totaled it up. So, yeah. And I was like, we also probably need to go to Honduras one more time. So that's already more holiday than most people get. So, yeah. Not going to go. But it was interesting. It was nice to meet new people. And then what did I
I think
do?
that's the one thing I struggle with a little bit. Not that I see loads of people out here, but like that's where the conversations do just start off like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, what do you do? And they go, I'm in oil, and you go, cool. Like, and they go, you're in
Yeah.
fitness? Yeah, okay, I'll go to the gym. Okay, great. Like, right up on you. Like, it's just a bit like you do get that. The reference points are just off. Like, I think that's where a lot of a lot of parents will resonate with this, is that, your kids will go to a play date or meet up with people, and then you're just forced to chat. And it's like, you speak to a lot of adults and it's just chit chat, and you go, I don't really get on. The reference points that, like I say, well off. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things out here that I get a lot is it's just like people that just live a different life. And you're just like, no, don't really get your problems, mate. Like, don't really understand.
Yeah, which is every because that's the one thing I do have a kind of a thing for. I can't be upset with them or angry at them because they are born into that and they know no different. So their problems are still their own problems, and that's how
Mm,
they're dealing with things. They don't know the other world or the other thing, and it's not their fault because why should they? It's like
yeah.
it's their own
Mm,
issues. That's they've never been like pushed into it. So they all work and they all do like stuff for society and pay taxes and all stuff. So like it's fair play, but everybody has their own problems, and we shouldn't judge. Personally, I don't think we should judge that much. That much we can judge a little bit, but we're not that much.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to church as well. Whoop because
Oh,
I know I had to go to Catholic church, so with Chloe's mum, mamacita. That's not how you do in Spanish. And yeah, that was on Sunday. So apparently it was a big day on Sunday. Jesus was back or something. So yeah,
well, and on Monday as well. Fucking hell.
and
What
then
happened
the Pope.
yesterday?
Yeah, I know it all
What,
went off, didn't it? Like
what timing that is?
Jesus dies on the Friday, then he comes back on the Sunday, then the Pope cocks it on the Monday. Absolutely mental. I think it was because I went to church and he was like, my world is complete. Tom has
Mm.
finally I've become Catholic.
Maybe he assumed you were.
Assumed. No, I didn't get up and go to the communion thing or have a little blessing. So I feel a little bit hypocritical doing it. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
I'm kind of like agnostic-y. Don't really know. We never really we've never done a theism podcast, have we?
I'm I'm definitely agnostic. I don't
I like the I like the op
I
I like
understand why
the
people like it.
I like the option of belief. I'm unsure whether I do believe, but yeah, I don't think I should discredit someone on for it. So,
I think my opinion on it is probably too, not to say extreme, but I think it's probably maybe too offensive. So I wouldn't say it quite right. Um, but I
you're not
think that
offensive.
it's there's part of me that thinks, and again, if you've been brought up believing stuff, I think that's one thing. But for me, it's a part of I think it's designed to give people hope. It's
Yeah.
designed to give people a purpose and distract them from the fact that actually they should find their own purpose. That's my opinion of it. Again, like you can say
I
it's
think
controversial, but
in times of turmoil, you can usually look to the church. That's when
yeah,
people
I think that, and I don't want to say, and I wouldn't. I'm going to say it. Fuck it. It's just that a bit of a. I think if you are a little bit on the, I don't know, it's not. I'm not even going to say the weaker side. I think you believe in stuff like that. I don't. I just think that some people need something to believe in. They need to believe that there's a higher thing looking
Mm.
after them, and they need to believe that. I don't need that. I don't physically personally need that. But I think there's generations that have gone through that needed that. But I also will say that I also think that we're seeing the degradation of society at exactly the point where there's less people that believe in religion. I think that's a fact. I think you can
Mm.
see that the less people in, again, our generation is probably the one that came through the most, that I would say that they believe the least, if that makes sense. I think our generation are ones that RE was a joke at school. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a
Yeah.
joke subject, and it was like no one cared. And I think we are actually seeing the degradation of the fact that no families went to church, Sunday school. We didn't do as much of that in our generation, or didn't follow it
I
through.
I did.
You would. Um,
Well,
that's what I
good,
believe. I believe that,
mate.
which is thing. But
Sunday school was boring. But yeah,
yeah,
I was forced to go until it got in the way of football, and then my dad won out. So
yeah. I just think that I do think it has a place. Like I would say atheism, agnostic, whatever, that way. But I do get it, and I do believe why some people need something in their life to believe in. And obviously, we see a lot of it here in terms of obviously huge Muslim population here, and you do see it, and it does give people that purpose and that reason to do things, whatever way you look at it.
correct. Well,
Oh,
let's talk about the true meaning of Easter, Daniel, before we can get into fitness.
Easter eggs.
Correct.
Come on. Um,
I sent you a
yeah.
thing, but also you enjoyed my my 1 kilo bag of mini eggs.
Oh,
I
I
have.
just love mini eggs. They're the only good thing about Easter eggs.
They
Like most Easter eggs, I'm not
like
bothered by.
that smell. My flat just smells of mini eggs currently because 1 kilo is quite a lot of mini eggs. And my sister has a habit of this. Last time she bought me like a an industrial sized pack of cream eggs. Because she's
Well, that
like,
sounds delightful.
but then no, but it's not, is it? Because it's like, oh, I'm a bit hungry. Oh, I'll have a cream egg. You end up eating about
Yeah.
3 cream eggs a day, and you're like, why am I putting on weight? And you're
Yeah,
like,
they get a bit
oh, yeah.
sickly as well, cream eggs, whereas
Yeah, they
mini eggs
do.
don't.
Well, I don't know. I think I ate too many mini eggs whilst I was watching the Tottenham Forest game yesterday,
I don't think you
and
can eat too many mini eggs. What would that look like, Tom?
I felt sick. I did feel
Okay,
sick yesterday.
maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
I did not
yeah,
sleep well. I couldn't nod off. I
yeah,
had way too much sugar in me. Yeah, which I'm normally fine with. I normally am able to just drift off. But I think weirdly it made my like it gave me a bit of desert mouth. It's a little bit of a dry sensation
yeah,
because yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, and so I woke up with like desert mouth and I was like gasping. But anyway, I sent you a Big Daddy BS Foods. This person, I sent you this last week, I think, on the old Instagram. But I spent
Yeah,
£275 on 16 Easter eggs. I think we should go through these,
I'm
if
going
we're
to be really
honest.
controversial here, Tom, and I'm going to say that I do not get this.
You
The
don't get
obsession
it.
with these Easter eggs with this. I just think I'm going to go on a rant, right? And I'm going to do it now about Easter eggs, right? That frustrates the hell out of me is that you hear people say all the time that they hate big companies that are just out for profit and just out for greed and all these things that people talk about in the general world, right? Then they go out and buy Easter eggs, which is just normal chocolate, and yet charged at like 4 or 5 times the price for it. Like this guy's about to fucking show.
You're
I just get a little
just
bit like I just get a
an
little bit like it's
old
the irony
man.
in it. It's the irony in it, Tom. It's the irony in people moaning that everything costs too much, and then they're feeding into it and they're contributing. I'm like, just stupidity, just stupidity, in my opinion. Anyway, and I did see this, and I did watch it through. I think I send you a message saying which one I thought was the best.
I don't know, but should I share my screen like this?
Well, you're doing it now. Careful,
Doing it
Tom.
now.
Careful, Tom. Careful.
So everybody can see this on clearly. It's going to be there.
Oh,
So
this see
on
this. I don't know. Should we go through it?
this is yeah, we'll go for it. Like because obviously on you can see I'm messaging. Ooh, Dan's there. Dan's there.
I'm there. Don't worry about it.
Um, just on YouTube because obviously people wanna see this so they can go on there. So the first one was the Domino's garlic and herb dip Easter egg.
I mean, yeah. Make it that way, you will.
Absolutely shocking, wasn't it? Let's come
That
off
just
that
doesn't
and
need to
try
exist, does
again.
it? It just doesn't need to exist, that. I don't think.
Yeah, what did he rate it? Um, it just that wasn't it though. This is definitely the Reese's peanut butter one. Reese's peanut butter egg. I would have one of those.
I would, but I can see it getting sickly though.
Yeah, I'd be very sickly. What's this one?
These I
Oh no.
understand. Like, you know, the other ones, I understand them. But I just
So
think make
he
them a bar. Make them a
oh
bar.
he's dipping that in a garlic
No,
fucking
I couldn't eat that.
thing. So that's
Couldn't eat that.
Domino's egg. That's awful. So this one was Smarties.
Smarties egg. Ridiculous. What is the fucking point of that? I'm sorry. Not only is Nestle chocolate the worst chocolate, Smarties are one of the worst Nestle chocolates. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Wouldn't do it. Not a
very
chance.
weird. Not great.
Stupid.
That one, no chance. I'm not doing
No,
that. That
no,
raspberry
no, no,
ripple ice
no,
cream from
no.
Milky Bar,
Right,
not
my
good.
rule for this, is if it's not a normal chocolate bar anyway, then you shouldn't be making it into an Easter egg. I've not seen that as a normal chocolate bar. Is it a normal chocolate bar?
I don't know. It'd be like one of those
No,
rogue
no one
ones
wants
in
it.
like an American
Awful.
candy store or something. I bet that's awful. Oh no, and it's like pink and I'd only eat the white
No,
bit.
no, I couldn't do that.
It's not that doesn't look good. Milky Bar, five
No,
pound fifty. I bet that's left on the shelf. Bet that's like £2
oh,
today. Oh,
awful.
what's this one?
Oh, the Lotus
A
one.
basically Lotus, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
caramelized
a
biscuit,
knockoff
milk chocolate
Lotus.
layered.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
again, like, I just have a bar of it. I just don't get it, man.
I think he said that there wasn't enough of it, right? This one,
Yeah,
I wanted to try and find this one, but it's a
no,
custard cream egg. It's a giant
really,
custard cream, yeah. See?
no. If it's not, it's a bourbon, isn't it? It's not custard cream at all.
Bourbon's longer.
It's brown. It's the wrong
M&S.
color. So yeah, I don't know. No,
There you go.
just no.
Outrageously chocolate custard cream biscuity egg. They
Ah,
just
it's not
did
an egg,
biscuit
is it? It's
eggs,
not an
did it?
egg, is
It's not
it?
an
It's not an
egg.
egg, is it? It's not the egg shape. Like again, just stupid.
No. Oh, Raffaello.
Again, just buy Raffaello's. Like, oh mate, I'm really against the old Easter egg
White
thing. I
chocolate and
don't care if it's
coconut
grumpy. I
almond
don't
pieces.
care,
You are
but
grumpy.
I don't care. But people are buying.
Look at that.
People
That looks
moan about
good.
capitalism, but then they buy into it, and I just
The
have
re
no
the
sympathy for
the
them.
Reese's peanut butter, I'm all over that. That's
I would
so
have
good.
that. 100%. I would have that.
I need a
But I also
massive
know that
pint of
that's going to be
milk.
exactly the same as any other Reese's, though.
Don't know what this one is.
That one looks a bit better
That's
in terms of the
got to be
thickness of it.
M&M's in it. No, Cocoba. I don't even
Cocoba.
know what that is. Never heard of it.
No.
Oh, this one.
Okay, now these are a little bit different, at least.
Okay, that is the M&S collection, a blonde egg with truffle loaded base. No, I'm
No.
not a big truffle guy.
I don't want mushrooms in my chocolate. Anyway, I'm joking.
I'm
No, I'd have a go at that one. I try that one.
assuming it's like chocolate truffles. But the blonde egg, I'm not. Meh. Oh, this one is that marshmallow?
30
But
pounds.
30 quid.
Ugh,
The
people
chocolate
keep buying it
croissant,
from Waitrose. I mean,
Waitrose
it's
egg.
unique, that's for sure.
Looks a bit
£15
weird.
that one, to be fair.
£15. Interesting. I'd eat it, obviously. I'd eat
I
all of them.
try it, yeah, but
This one's quite cool.
£7 though, that's not a bad price.
Yeah, that's a co-op. Wow.
Maybe
Go on,
co-op
co-op.
did well.
Marbled Millionaires chocolate egg from the co-op. Decent, but oh,
Yeah, I mean
that
that
looks
one looks
solid.
incredible, to be fair. But again, it looks like it would be a great bar of chocolate. I say it again, it's just yeah. I mean that's the one to go for.
That's
Loaded.
the one. Loaded handmade luxury Belgian chocolate stuffed egg. Yeah, that one looks stuffed as well.
Yeah,
Really good.
yeah. That's yeah.
Ooh, this
That's
is
not
thick.
hollow. That's not hollow, is it? That's
Yeah,
just all the way through, thick. That was a
£17.95.
sticky toffee pudding one, I think.
Was it?
Sticky toffee pudding. Yeah, I think it was.
This one, layers. The original layers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
layers.
award-winning handmade
I'd like
chocolates.
to know
That looks good.
who had one that they thought was the best for their eggs. If anyone listens to the podcast and want to message us and let us know what they had.
I will show you the most bougie one
I didn't have any chocolate on it.
in a second. I will show you the most bougie one.
Did you
I don't
have
know what
it?
this one. Correct, yeah, of course. You know I
40 quid
get,
for an egg is ridiculous. It's
you know,
not
yeah, art
art
chocolat,
chocolate luxury Easter egg. It's like glossy on the outside. It's glossy green on the outside.
pistachio, praline, and
Not a
caramel.
fan of pistachio
And
anyway,
then
so
the number one was this marshmallowy one, wasn't it?
it does look good to be fair, but
I'm not a big fan of
I
marshmallow.
just don't think it's worth 35 quid
Toffee
for an Easter egg. I'm
mallow.
sorry. I'm just sorry. I just don't think it is.
Mm.
I just don't think that you should be ever paying that amount of money for a bit of chocolate. It baffles me that people pay it. It really does.
So
I don't like it. I'd rather see a bar. I'd rather see a bar of chocolate. Like different bars like that
I've
would be
already
amazing.
eaten bits of this, obviously, but this is
It's not even an egg.
half of an egg.
Oh, I
I've
don't think
eaten.
how much that costs. Just looking at the packaging.
Well, you can Google who Nicholas Roussard is.
I don't want to. I feel ill doing it.
He's the patisserie, pastry chef at the Connaught Patisserie, and Chloe gets it every year just so we can share. But it's insane. It's insane, mate.
Wow.
Anyway, that
Fair play.
I guess we should talk about fitness.
I had a bar of Tony's chocolate for Easter. That's what I had because I refused to buy an Easter egg.
Oh, you're such a loser.
Yeah,
Isabel's
awful.
such an unlucky child.
Oh, she
That's
got them. Don't worry about that. She got
oh,
some.
good. All right.
She got some because Laura bought some for her and refused to bow down to me saying she shouldn't get one.
Correct. Yeah. I
Yeah.
bet you didn't fund any of it. You're like, no, you can buy that yourself.
Yep. Quite right. Quite right.
Right, we're going to talk about fitness stuff, I guess. Dan wants to talk about something that I don't know what it is, but I might have an opinion. I don't know. I
It's
might
not
just
that
sit quietly.
exciting, to be honest.
I might just sit quietly for 10 minutes. And I would like to just actually, I had a call with one of my mentor people who learned stuff from me. He says, don't know.
Yeah.
We were discussing like off-season training for he coaches Swansea ladies. That is the football team, not just some ladies that are in Swansea. And they are going into off-season, and he's got to design their like off-season programs and what they're doing for like player work and warm-up drills and all this kind of stuff. But it also got me thinking about sequencing because I did a video on Real Madrid. Um, they lost, didn't they? So
It did.
smashed by Arsenal.
Useless.
But I did a video on them, and it didn't raise a question. It kind of highlighted that within their warm up drills, because I did a little summary on their pre-training gym training. So they do like
Mm.
movement prep in the gym before they go out and do their technical match session or pitch
Yeah.
session. And this is just, I'd imagine for most trainers would be like fucking alien as shit, all the movements and stuff. So it got me thinking about that because I've also taken on, yeah, a good 4 or 5 people who want to return to sport in the next kind of like 3, 4 months. And that's their goal to come with me, to return to sport, to get more athletic, to be able to
Mm.
fucking move properly. And there's certain things that I need to be doing with them. So Daniel, are we going to talk awareness effect or are we going to talk muscle sequencing?
I don't mind, Tom. Let's talk about you talk about your shit first.
All right, we'll set a timer. We'll do 10 minutes each. Apparently, you're going to take 10 minutes. So,
No.
but all I wanted to say is in terms of muscle seeking. So I've got a few people that are coming back either or learning to run, not learning to run. They can already run, but we're going to make them better runners. Returning to play hockey, returning to like 5Ks. They want to do 10Ks. They want to do Hyroxes, that kind of stuff. They want to play more golf. They want to be more powerful. They want to move better, have more movement efficiency. So one of the things that they are doing is learning to skip. That is not with a rope. That is like A skip, B skip, C skip, all these kind of different drills. And it's something that I think people feel like they look daft, so they don't do it. Yeah, if you went down the running track and you looked at again, we've said this a few times about when I've like done summaries of like athletes and stuff, and athletes are fucking sick in the gym. They just move so fucking well and they're so powerful and everything works together. And you know why that is? Because they drill the fuck out of themselves to sequence how certain muscles move together. And it just got me thinking, unfortunately, I'm sorry, and Paul Standell will take it on the chin when I mention his name, because we get on very well. But he knows he sits on, but he'll be the first person to say, no, that stuff is needed. Sequencing is needed for return to running, return to sport, return to whatever. But he sits on the other spectrum of biomechanics, which personal trainers seem to wank the fuck over. But it's very kind of secularizing in terms of it is just for aesthetics. It doesn't do much else, but you do have untapped potential. Some of the bodybuilders that come over to me are able to learn. They have to take the time to learn how to sequence everything together. So to learn to skip, to learn to do stuff in combinations. But once they do, they've got a lot more power, generally speaking, and condition than most people who haven't done any kind of bodybuilding. So it's just an interesting, I think, gap. I also don't. I work in a facility which has always got about, I don't know, between 5 and 10 trainers working with their clients at any one time. And I would say consistently, unless it's with a physiotherapist, I'm probably one or two of us may do some of these drills like in the space of like a couple of hours, and that's it. So I would hazard a guess that 80-90% of coaches do not drill their clients with some of the stuff that I was teaching to Jack today, that's about to do with the Swansea girls, all this kind of stuff. So whether it be plyometrics, whether it be just kind of normal drills, and I would start with like little pogo drills, little hops, little jumps, all this kind of stuff that you're doing for a certain amount of time to learn rhythm when you're laying down force, because if you're trying to run or if you're trying to be powerful, you're trying to put as much force into the ground as possible. If you're not able to do that in the right kind of order with your leg, and when you like ting a golf shot, Dan knows that every now and again that he hits one properly from the middle, everything has sequenced together and it goes fucking miles. He can hack at it, but as powerfully as he could possibly can, but the ball might not go as far. But that's because not everything has moved in the same way, and it all kind of links up. So timing, timing's a thing.
Yeah, and I think I remember from football when I used to work in football, we had an S&C coach come in and he tried to incorporate all this sort of stuff and was
Yeah,
unfortunately it looked funny, so they didn't want to do it. There was a
yeah,
bit of it was a bit
literally.
of
Yeah.
mocking involved. He excuse me, lost the management effectively because he came in and was trying to get the players to do this stuff, and they just thought it looked daft. And I think when you don't explain this stuff very well, or don't understand, the fact that it does look a bit daft and funny, or come in and talk about the benefits of it, I think it can look really odd, and you just have to be careful. Like certainly in professional sport, there's a huge part of it where it's like they don't want to do stuff that looks funny. This was a long time ago. I think now it's probably a little bit more accepted.
Now it's
Obviously,
like
with Real Madrid doing it,
if you
you know,
see people warming up pre-game, you'll see most of them doing it
yeah,
before. They'll
yeah.
do in like three lines, and they'll go off and do their A skips, the B skips, the jumps, the bounds, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's look, it's essentially like like you just said about the golf swing. It's kind of like I said with the sequencing stuff. It's almost like going through like a pre-shot routine, right? Of going through your sequence of going this fires, next this fires,
Mm.
this fires, this leads to the chain reaction of this happening, and it's the same type of thing, right? With that, and um, the nuts and bolts of it is that most people who train for performance don't do this stuff. They should do. Like say, fat loss point of view, you could argue they don't need to do it, blah blah blah, whatever. But certainly from a point of view of performance and anyone into running or strength or anything like that, and wanting to, the recent trend of hybrid athletes being a huge thing, like it's definitely something they should be looking at, thinking about for
I
sure.
think the recent trend of Hyrox is like fucking half of it is running. And
Yeah,
like if you don't think that sequencing is not going to be good for skiing, which is a whoosh, kind of a pull down. And then the
yeah,
same for the rowing. There's still like a strength kind of cycle going on there, so they have to recoil back in. Then the med ball thing, the wall balls, they have to bounce in and out. They have to catch it at the right point. There should be a rhythm to that. It's not just brute force is not going to win you that. Like there's elastic properties that you need to train that you're able to bounce all the way through it. Probably not so much with the sled pull or sled like push. That's probably if you've got enough muscular strength, you're going to do well at. And then I'd say like 65% of a Hyrox will come down to a lot, and it will benefit being able to do that. And if you can afford to leave that on the table, then hats off to you. But you're never going to be the athlete that you should be if you can't skip. I will put it as bluntly as that. If you cannot learn to skip, you probably are not as fast as you could be because you're not able to get as much energy off the ground as you should be able to, right? You're not as light on your feet and be able to kind of like, how people would, if you were to hit someone like with just the palm of your, like that open kind of big spread, that's not going to hit Dan very much. But if I got him like just with a smaller fist and
mm-hmm.
he's able to pinpoint and put as much force through that slightly kind of one bit, it's going to hurt him a little bit more. So we're trying to do that with like the sole of your foot, basically, instead of slapping it down. So yeah,
Yeah.
sequencing, it got me thinking when one of my clients posted today, because she's returning back to hockey is one of the main goals and wants to be able to run a little bit more. But she was like, it'd be really cool. And she was like, I don't know whether I want to return to hockey, but it'd be really cool to be in the position too if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, of course. Then so let's do that. Fuck it. Let's just make sure you've got the ability to change direction, to be light on your feet, to start to learn some of that stuff. And she was like knee injuries like 2 months ago, so it's just something that's going to prolong that. It's also she's going to be able to have thicker and stronger tendons because of it. So, which is cool, which is very cool. So
Yeah.
it's usually a
Pretty
case
neat.
of like when bodybuilders, they've suddenly started running, and a lot of them are like, oh, I've got shin splints, oh, I've hurt my ankles, oh, my Achilles hurts, or my knees really hurt. It's like, yeah, because you've never done the prerequisite kind of plyometric work, more than likely, to learn how to yield through some of your tendons and
Yeah.
take some of that elastic force when you're not used to it. Just that judder that you're sending through. So be
Yeah.
like a spring.
Be
Be
like a
like a
spring.
spring.
There you
Right,
go,
Daniel,
Tommy.
that was exactly bang on 30 minutes there.
Well
Over
done.
to you, awareness.
Yes, this came up on a check-in with a client, and he posted a piece of content. He enjoyed the rant, and I kind of we spoke about this rant a little bit. So he basically went on a rant and was just kind of saying how he gets annoyed. People these days just don't want to put any effort in. They don't want to put any energy into trying to transform. They say they want to lose weight, but they never actually put enough effort in to see the results that they want to see. Like everyone wants it all easy these days. No one's prepared to do the work. That sort of rant, right? And I sort of said to him, I said, okay, let's imagine that that's correct from your point of view. I said, the problem that you've got with a lot of times when we post on social media on the internet, and this is where understanding your niche is really, really important, is that you're coming across as someone who is saying all these things from your viewpoint of like how hard you work for what you need. And I said to him, I said, I have to be wary of this when I talk about this in content, because I think that I talk about putting effort in, making content and whatever, but then I also sometimes think this same thing. So I said to him, I said, what happens if your audience of people are currently going to the gym 3 times a week, and they're also getting their steps in of an evening, right? Or they're getting 5,000 and not 10,000 like you want them to, right? And to them, that is the hardest that they've ever worked, ever in their life on their fitness. I was like, it just doesn't match up. Like their awareness of what's required to get the result they maybe want is different to what you think it is or what you say it is. And I said to him, I said, you can sometimes alienate yourself as an online coach or a personal trainer by saying things like you just said, because your audience will just go, I am trying my best. I am putting the effort in. Like, just shut up. Like, because based on where they've come from, they might have been going to the gym once a week and doing no steps. And they're now doing 3. Yes, it might be misguided. Yes, the sessions they do might be shit, right? They don't know that though, right? And then they're doing their 6,000 steps a day. They're going for a walk every evening with a dog that they weren't doing before, which again is not a huge amount of steps, but again, they don't know that. And they're working as hard as they possibly can based on their perception of how hard they used to work. How hard they're working now is a lot harder. And they do feel like giving up lots of stuff, and they do feel like they're putting it as a priority. You saying this as someone who trains 5-6 times a week, who does 20,000 steps a day, who knows what it takes to get in elite shape, it's just off. And I called it the awareness gap. Is like these people are not aware that they need to do more, or that they need to train harder, or that they need to put more effort in at the gym. Because compared to what they were doing 6 months ago, they are already doing the most they've ever done before. And I said, you don't know what you don't know. And I said, to you, you look at them and go, you're not doing enough. You're not training hard enough. You're not pushing yourself hard enough. You know that. They don't know that. And I think sometimes it's the way the online coaching world has gone, right? It's this whole thing around, we're just expecting people to know what we know. We're just expecting them to just pick it up on the fly and go, well, you need to go to the gym. But then on the flip side, you've also got other PTs on there. So I said to him, I said, you've also got other online coaches that go, you don't need to be in the gym 5 times a week. You need to go 3 times a week. So who's to say that this person hasn't listened to that coach and gone, well, I'm only going 3 times a week. Now, yes, they're doing push-pull legs. Yes, they're not doing full body. Yes, they don't know their A skips and their B skips. They don't know that stuff, right? But it's like, you can't just have a go at someone all the time when they don't know any different. So I have to be careful with this with online coaches, that I don't just have a go all the time about how much work's required. Because I kind of go, yeah, but you've also been sold a dream. So I also sit there within my content and then go, you've been told that you can work 3 hours a day and get an amazing business. You can't. I'm telling you now, you can't, but you've been sold the dream by someone else. It's not your fault. You've been sold the dream. So I'm always referencing where the poor information is coming from. And I think that's where someone like, again, my client Dan in this situation, I was like, you need to start referencing that and going, look, I don't know who told you that 3 times a week was like going to get you these amazing results, right? But unless you're doing these things as well alongside it, you're probably not. Where you need to make sure your calories are controlled, your steps are maybe nearer the 10, 12,000 mark or whatever it might be, right? It's just going to take you longer to get where you want to be. And I just think that coaches are not making people and their audience aware enough. Like you've just explained there about the training requirements and like the awareness of sequencing. Like people aren't aware of that.
No,
A lot of PTs aren't aware of it. So just saying you're a shit fucking coach if you don't do any of this with your clients is like, well, it's not really going to help because I don't know what it is, mate. I've not explained. And I think this is where a lot of coaches go wrong with their content, is that they do not understand based on the niche work they've done. So one of the things I do a lot of my clients with the niche work, and again, I've done it with Dan now, he's only just started to be fair, right? But going into a depth is like, what do they currently know and what do they currently think hard work is? What do they think? So some people think that by giving up Dominoes, giving up wine and doing Lent, right? They think that that's working hard. I don't think that's working hard. I don't think that is, but to them, it is. You know, you speak to your parents. Oh, yeah, I'm really trying hard on my fitness this year. I'm going to make sure I go for my walks around the block, and I'm going to give up the alcohol. Let's then try really hard. You need to be very aware with your niche of what they mean when they say these things of trying hard, doing the best I can, putting all the effort in. Because what you think they are, that means as a personal trainer, and what your client thinks that means are two very, very different things. And you have to meet people where they're at, and then you can move them through that process. So the example that I used with him was, it's almost like you're watching a race, right, between two cars, and you've got a Ford Fiesta going 100 mile an hour, pedal to the metal. It literally cannot go any faster, right? Against a Ferrari, you're going 110 mile an hour, fucking cruising, loads left in the tank, and you're just screaming at the Fiesta, just try harder, just try harder. It's like, it doesn't know that it can. It can't, right? It can't win that race. And I think sometimes PTs need to remember that sometimes they're just doing that to their clients, is that they feel that they are maxed out, can't do any more. Work stress, life stress, all these other things, training, what they're doing is the max they can possibly do until they start seeing some results, till they start getting motivated by seeing those results, at which point they will start to then take that more seriously, and they will then move their life around to fit more in. Because personal trainers and coaches love fitness, love the gym, and have seen the results of all the time and effort they put into it, so they know it's worth it. Your clients do not know that it's worth putting more than 3 days a week in. Why should I fucking bother? I'm not seeing results doing this 2 or 3 days a week. Why the fuck would I do 5? Whereas PTs look at it as going, oh, they're lazy. I look at it as going, no, they're not. They're just not seeing any results doing what they're doing. So why the fuck would they bother doing more? Why would they do more? And I think that it's that awareness of that online coaches and PTs just sometimes don't have. I know with my clients that have got the best results now and go on to grow their business, they get those quick, easy wins at the start where they go, oh, actually, this is all right. Actually, this is good. Okay, now we can do more. Now we can post more than that. When they first come in, I don't say to coaches, right, you need to post every single day, start an email list, do a lead magnet, go on YouTube all at once. No. Let's just make sure on Instagram we're getting some wins when people go,
what the fuck? That's exactly what Mike said to me. All of those things.
Yeah, do all of it. Yeah. He's like,
you're not doing enough, Tom. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're fucking useless, Tom. Do it all. And it's kind of like, unless you're getting those messages from people on Instagram going, I really resonate with your content, I love your content, there's no point doing YouTube and lead magnets and emails. It's just not really much point. We need to get that bit nailed first. And I just think the coaches aren't doing that with their clients step by step and meeting them where they're at and getting them excited about wanting to do more rather than screaming at them that they don't want it enough. Because I actually think a lot of people do want it enough. I think they do want it enough. I think that they're already trying pretty hard. They're just not seeing results from it. So why would they bother doing more? It's how can we be more efficient? How can we be better with their time? How can we get those quick, easy wins? Then make it something they want to do more of, from that point of view. I just don't think that message sometimes is the right one all the time. I just think when we rant, I love a rant as much as anyone. We just have to be wary that we are, again, meeting them where they're at. We're saying that you're going to have to change. My answer, you're going to have to change something. You can't just keep doing what you're doing. You have to change something. My view of it would be, let's get more efficient, then increase the capacity, rather than increasing capacity when you're 10% efficient is pointless, in my opinion. I think that's the route coaches need to go on with their content. What was the time of that? Was I bang on 10 minutes, Tom? I don't know what I'm supposed to have.
You got another 45 seconds.
I don't need it. I just drop the mic. But yeah, I just think, look, I love a rant as much as anyone, and I don't think a rant sometimes isn't misplaced. I think you can do it without loads of context. I just think that in all your other content, there needs to be that context of giving people that stuff that makes them more efficient, rather than just saying that they don't work hard enough. Because I just don't think it lands as well as you might think, basically. And I interpret the awareness gap is like, the awareness level is that they don't know this stuff. And I said to him, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to be better from doing 5 times a week, because right now I'm not getting any better doing 3. Why the fuck would I do more? Like,
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think we've all been like we all have to check ourselves and we've all been guilty of it, no? Because I might like, especially with like guys and girls that I've trained for a while, the awareness thing, or and these are the coaches that I train as well. As much as I might try to educate or whatever, sometimes they're not going to take it in. That's fine. And my awareness or my assumption would be they would know stuff by now, or perhaps I
yeah.
think they're at a level of
Mm-hmm.
maybe of understanding, which
Yeah.
they're just not ready yet. They're just not there yet. They're not ready for that yet. And I sometimes speak a bit too, not
Mm.
complex, because I think one of my stronger skills is being able to dumb down, or in layman's terms, explain shit. But I might not even, I'll just brush over something which I expect them to know,
Yeah.
and I won't go into the depth, that kind of thing. So that
Yeah.
is,
I think
I know, it's one of my awareness gaps that I
the,
have of
the
like
other thing
not
is
knowing
it's
quite no.
the same is true the other way, by the way. So if you work with people who, again, Clara's listening, I'm gonna pick on Clara. If you work with people that exercise and diet excessively, and do loads
Clara,
of steps, and
no.
no, as in not her, as in like the people she works with, it's like a lot of people she
Don't
works
give her
with.
that much credit. She
Um,
fucking is, her current training is for no goal at the moment.
yeah, yeah. Is so like some of the people that come in, and again, some people that are wildly successful have just worked harder than other people. They're not actually very efficient. They've just worked harder, right? They've just done more stuff, and they get more stuff wrong, and they're close to burnout and all these sorts of things, right? Is that, and in the same breath, telling that person to just do less and trust the process is extremely difficult, because everything they've ever had in their life, success wise, has been based off doing more than everyone else, and working their nuts off. And I put myself in this bracket, and I have to check myself regularly to go, well, I know that working hard paid off, right? But saying that to someone who doesn't know it pays off is somewhat pointless. So then I have to make sure that I share my journey to show that it's paid off and to show that it's worth it. And we have to share our journeys to go through this process. But I think it's the same way of someone who's an excessive dieter, to tell them to just not diet and eat more food is like, oh yeah, well done. No shit, right? But everything they've ever done has led them to that being the right answer for where they're at right now. And it comes to a point where you have to, again, meet them where they're at and go, well, I understand that that's your worldview right now. And I think, again, like a lot of the problems in the world right now is the same fucking thing. It's just this worldview of just like, no one's broadening their mind. We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of just, I believe in this, it's right. And I think with coaching and stuff, we have to remember that is that if you've got results doing things a certain way, bodybuilding, following meal plans, and you've seen results and you've got accolades and you've got success and you've built off the back of it friendship groups, um, again, life ambitions you've achieved, whatever, to then be told that you need to now completely change all that and it's not the right way to do things. It takes a lot to unpack that, to go, hang on, everything I've had in life has been off the back of this. It's been successful. And like, you're almost trying to change someone's whole identity and tell them that what they've been doing is now no longer serving them. It's like, that takes a lot to sink in. That's a lot to change. I
Yeah.
think, again, it's going further now into other things, right? But it's hard to unpack all that and to just change someone's mind in a reel. Do you know what I mean? Or a YouTube video, and just think that one thing like that's going to help. It requires a lot more than that, over time. And I think that as a coach, it's our job to see these things, understand them, to empathize with the situation, to sympathize with the situation, and say, look, I understand why you're doing these things. I understand you're just going to try and do more because to you that you think that's going to lead to success because it always has done previously. But I think you've run out of that road right now. I think you've had all the success you're ever going to get by doing that. to go further, we need to change roads a little bit. We need to actually think about the next path we're going to go down and go, right, what's success on that path? What does it look like? Because I don't think it's the same thing. I'm not discounting the fact you've done all these things and led to where you are today. I'm saying the next big change in our lives is going to be, this is going to look a little bit different. This is going to be slightly different now going forward, right? And again, without getting too fucking deep and personal, you might experience this year by getting married, is that, okay, up to this point in my life, everything has led to this going on, and this is the way I do things. But now actually you've got to think of someone else a lot more than you currently do, maybe. Again, like obviously you still think, but I know from having kids. So I had another conversation with another client about this, about having a kid. Is that I had a client and she was like, oh, I had a client before she had a baby. She was amazing. She stuck to everything. She was great. Lost loads of weight. Was feeling great. She's come back after a baby, and I'm doing everything the same with her, but she's just not losing weight. And I'm sat there going, well, yeah, no shit. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, are you doing everything the same with her that you were doing before a baby? Yeah. Well, she ain't the same person anymore. So what? Why? I was like, she said, what? I said, you need to understand that when she had that baby, she was no longer the most important person in her life anymore.
Mm.
And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, the only reason I know that is because I've had a kid. So I know that. I know that I'm not the first person I think of now when I make any decision. And I was like, you got to remember now, every time she sits down to eat, every time she sits down to think about going to the gym or going to do steps, she's thinking of someone else first before she makes that decision of whether it's good or bad. So she might have 30 minutes to prep her food, but she's got also 30 minutes to go, well, I've got to make sure the baby's fed. I've got to make sure the bottles are prepped for the next time I feed her. I've got to make sure that my husband knows what he needs to do tomorrow for the baby. I've got to make sure I prep her meals for the next day. Take away 20 minutes out of that. No wonder she goes for fast, convenient food, because she ain't got time to worry about herself. And it's this awareness that I just don't think coaches have. And it's really difficult because unless you've lived it, you don't know it. That's why I think a lot of coaches benefit from having their niche that's themselves from when they were younger or in a previous time, because you know what they've been through. But when I sat down with the client, she was just like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah. I was like, this is different now. This is why you need to start taking a step back and going, her life's so different. It's not, because when you look at nutrition and training, it's not really about the food and the training. It's about what it gives you in life. It's about how it makes you feel a certain ways.
Yeah.
So many decisions come into it when it comes to eating food. Like we just talked about fucking Easter eggs, right? It's like, I get why people do it. It's because it's not just about chocolate, is it? It's not just about chocolate. It's a family. It's sharing that with family. It's giving your
shared experience.
It's giving,
isn't it?
yeah, it's giving family an egg and going, I got this one for you as a jokey one, or it's this one because I know you like it. It shows that you care more than just going, here's a toffee crisp bar. Like, I get it. Like, I'm
Which
not
is what you
stupid. Which is what I do. So I'm not stupid. So again, like with Isabel, I'm not going to not let her have an Easter egg. I'm not going to not get her an Easter egg because all her friends have got them and she's excited. It's Easter. I don't need it personally, but I get the vibe with it. And again, it's this awareness of like why people do certain things.
Oh, that rant, and Dan just wants an Easter egg. Laura, I know you're
I want the garlic and herb one. No, yeah, like it's just interesting. I think just interesting, just in terms of like thinking about these things. I know a lot of the calls I have with Clara is a lot of this, just like she probably hates me. I just get to think. I'm just like, have you thought about this? She's like, shut up. Why have I not thought about that? And you're like, it's just thinking sometimes. It's just like, rather than just diving in with tactics and strategies, it's like, yeah, but have we thought about this stuff first? That I think is really important.
Because Clara needs to, and she knows this, literally take a little step back instead of do.
She needs to do.
And breathe and look at your surroundings, please. That's why
she needs to do Hyroxes every single month. She needs to plan for
that's
Hyrox
why no matter what, and she knows this, and she knows it's good for her. No matter what, she will always have a long run of like 90 minutes every single weekend, no matter what she's training for, because it is clarity.
Because you hate her
brain.
Yeah.
Because I hate her. And she gets time to think by herself. Yeah. It's probably it's good for her body, heart and shit, but it's mainly good for a fucking brain.
Heart and shit, innit? Just heart and shit. It's good for heart and shit. Yeah. I should probably start running for that reason if we get fucking clarity. Jesus Christ, clear your brain.
I know you do. Literally, mate.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Wait there.
You run. You bought some running shoes.
What I bought?
Fucking some
state of these cloud things. These are fucking cloud shit, man. They're so like spongy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've had a pair.
Yeah, part of my rehab, my physio was like, okay, so technically I think you're pretty much ticked off for like everything you've done for strength wise. And he's like, I know you're not big into running, but if I was doing a full assessment and ticking someone off completely, he's like, you probably need to start running just to check it's okay. I was like, what? I was like, you fucking what, mate? I was like, I think you need to start running, Dan. I was like, brilliant. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've got some straight line running to do on grass, and then I'm gonna hopefully progress. I want to be able to do. I want to be able to do a 5K
Straight line
without any
running,
pain.
straight line running, and just seeing Dan just like veering off to the left every single. I know.
Oh, so yeah,
Oh, you failed that
that's
one.
coming in soon. That's coming in soon. Is some running. So that'd
'Cause
be
you got like you can go down to Kite Beach and run the whole length along the running
yeah. I
bit.
can just run to Mike's house. I just run to Mike's house, give him some shit, and
It's
run
not
back.
very
It's probably about
far.
five
It's
k.
not very far.
It's not very. I don't need to run very far, Tom. I just need to run. Right? It doesn't need to be very
I've
far.
done the whole of Dan's estate, and I've done the whole of Kite Beach there and back.
Well done.
That's I know. Thank you. It was fucking horrendous because it's so hot. Anyway,
Yeah, really hot. Anyway,
I was
my
like,
dinner's ready. I can smell my dinner, Tom. Oh, it smells so good.
hated it was like a zone 2 run, and my heart rate was about 190 the whole time. I was like, this is not good. Anyway,
My heart rate's gonna be that high regardless.
Oh yeah, you'll be walking. It's fine. We're not doing a show next week, are you? You're
No, I'm back in the UK. I'm busy
okay.
then, aren't I? Yeah,
You're
yeah.
busy. All right.
Yeah.
Peace out, people. If you're going to Daniel's event, I will actually be there, which is sad.
Oh, you coming, are you?
I know. Yeah. I'm not paying, but I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'll slip you a fiver.
It's fine, mate. Just
Underneath,
post about it on Instagram and say we were bang average. That'd be enough. That'd be fine.
I've told you I'm bringing my wedges so I can just do some chipping practice in the
Chip at me. Well, I want to say.
See how good you. I'm going to check your straight line running. I'm going to see that on stage, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We won't catch you next week. The week after.
See you later.